In the blood of the Lamb. Wondrous working power. Woo! Mm-hmm. You see, when you talk about God's power, when you talk about God's power, you know, his power has nothing to do with your power. Actually, his power has everything to do with your weakness. The Bible said, I am made perfect in your weakness. You know, when you come to the realization and you come to the point that all the power you have won't get it done, then God step in and bring real power. You know, God power. In other words, God power is getting the job done that you don't think can happen. You know, God's power is when you know you don't have the right connection, but some type of way God weave into there and connect you with the right person. They connect you to the connection. You know, that's how his power works. We have to learn the intricacies of how God moves. God uses people. That's why he said, listen. If you can't forgive others of their trespass, I can't forgive you. Listen. If they hurt you, just pray to me. If they do this, just pray to me. Because what you don't know is I use Let's talk about power. God uses people. And if you don't know how to conduct yourself with people, then you can never be put in front of the right people that you need to help you. That's why God continuously tells you, work on your heart. Because I know people gonna hurt you, but if you work on your heart, even though they hurt you, you won't hurt yourself from stopping me from putting you in the midst of the right people. Now let's talk about power. And you want to talk about power? Power helps me to shut up. When I want to say something so bad, shut up. I really, ooh. Let's talk about power. Ooh. And power come in and power say, shut up. Shut up. Because you're going to have to deal with that in order for me to take you where I need to take you to. But I can't take you there if every time you think you can say what you shut up. Power, shut up. Shut up before you run off the person I done brought in your midst. Shut up. I brought them there to help you. But if you keep talking, you're going to. Now let's talk about power. Now, I know we want power to come and just make us strong. Power was what the Bible said, that they moved them from judgment hall to judgment hall, where they lied on them and scandalized them. And the Bible said, and yet he echoed. Not a word. Power. Yeah. Power teaches me how to conduct myself in the right manner. Even when my flesh is boiling, my flesh keep talking to you. You better. Now let's talk about power. Now y'all took me off my message. Talk about power. Because watch this. When you learn how to conduct yourself and you learn how to respond correctly, God can always put you in position for God to bring somebody else to where you are. I said, as long as you know how to conduct yourself, respond in the correct manner, you will stay in good standings with. Watch this. What do you think the Bible was talking about when it said, and Enoch had this one testimony, that he walked with God? In other words, Enoch knew how to conduct himself and how to respond correctly. That's all God is talking to you about in the Bible. How to conduct yourself and how to respond correctly. That's what he's coming to save you for, to show you how to conduct yourself. And you want to talk about power. I mean, if you want real power, if you want real power, all you have to do is be in right standing with God. He'll give you real power. He'll endue you with real power. The Bible said this. The Bible said, he seeketh of such to do so. He's looking for them who want to come in right standing with him. He's looking to find somebody to say, I'm going to conduct myself that way, Jesus. He's looking for somebody he can endow power with. I want the power to, I want to keep on the power to be strong enough to overthrow somebody. But I don't want the power that make me strong enough. But I don't want the power that make me strong enough to shut my mouth. I don't want that power. I want the power to overthrow something. But I don't want the power to overthrow me. I don't want that. I don't want that. That's too much.
That's the power you need.
That's too much. That's too much. That's too much for me to ask for the power. Woo! Now let's talk about power. Since I have your attention, I heard the spirit of Mother Jackson is here. The spirit of Mother Jackson and the spirit of the apostle. And guess what the spirit just told me? Thank you, Cass Spirit. That spirit just told me. Said Mother Jackson, the apostle, and the spirit just said to me, the spirit of Reverend Clinkscales is here. That's that. You're going way back. Now you're going way. Now let's talk about power. Now, do you really want to talk about power? You talking about power? Ooh-wee. What's he saying? If you need deliverance, power. If you need healing, power. I guess it's the, I guess, since we're talking about power, I guess today was already written. So I guess today was already on God's calendar. It was already on God's calendar for this day. For this day to bring about power. So since we all here, why not indulge in the power? If Mother Jackson is standing there watching you, Apostle Jackson is standing there watching us, if Reverend Clinkscales is standing there watching us, why not partake in the power? The Bible said when Jesus was on the Mount of Transfiguration, he said Elijah and Moses came. And it was only when they came that Jesus' garments and apparel was changed. His clothes had power. Well, Michael, his face exuded out with power. And if Jesus had two witnesses, If he had two witnesses and he turned in the light, and today here we have three witnesses. That means, that only means that it's time to get what you asked for.
Yes.
Hey! I said that only means it's time to get what you asked for. Yeah. What you asked for. The witnesses come. The witnesses come to bring gifts. They're coming to be symbols of the presence of God being in the place. But their purpose, the purpose is to make you light. To illuminate your life. To illuminate your ideas. To illuminate your perception. To illuminate what you asked God for. You will illuminate. We are walking through the door of light. Okay. It makes sense. It makes sense now. It makes sense. 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 Spirit. Yeah. He okay. He okay. Leave the baby alone. He all right. He okay. He just see what you can't. Leave him alone. He all right. He okay. Power. 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 If Moses and Elijah came to Jesus, witness to Jesus, right? Witness to Jesus, and their witness changed Jesus' person. What they said to him changed his image. Changed it. Because when witness come in contact with the person that the witness is supposed to be with, It creates light. It creates light because what God, the two things God has made to get together, when they come together, it causes power. And that power displays itself in light. They said Jesus' clothes were so white they couldn't look at him no more. Because Jesus connected to the witness that God sent at the time God sent them to answer his prayer. So since today, since today is double portion day, and I'm aware of 3 witnesses that I know are here witnessing the activity that's taking place. The power. See, you thought the power was to give you the ability to do a certain thing. Not this power. This power, with all the abilities you have, you can't produce this. With all your abilities, you can't get this. This power is the power of witness. This is a different power. This power is a witness. Watch this. That you have the power. This power is a witness that you already have the. Y'all ain't playing. He just come to shake you up. He just come to tell you it's okay, now let it go. He just come to shake up the power that's already. Moses and Elijah didn't give Jesus no extra power. They just came to bear witness to the power he already had. He didn't come to give you a dream. He came to help you work out the dream you already got. Now let's talk about power. Somebody say with me, crossover. Somebody say crossover. Woo! Hey! Crossover. Hey! Whoa! Hey! 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 Blow that horn, son. Hey! Hey! Crossover. That means to step into the stuff, the stuff he promised you. The stuff he said I can have. Cross over to the stuff he said was mine. The life he said I can possess. Can you see? Y'all don't even know how special y'all are. Do you know how special you are? Ooh. Do you know how special we are for God to bring 3 witnesses? For God to bring, bless you, 3 witnesses. To bring 3 witnesses. To witness the crossover. I can see.
Go ahead. Come on. Come on.
I can see the apostle
Yes. Yes.
saying, today, we gonna go and I'm gonna watch them cross over.
Go ahead.
And then I can hear, Mother Jackson say,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I gotta see them cross.
Go ahead.
I need to see them cross. And then I can hear Reverend Cleanscale saying,
Go ahead.
if the cross is coming and you letting them go, God,
Come on. Go ahead.
I have to see them cross too.
Go ahead.
God, if you knew how special you were
Go ahead.
to be in this moment,
This moment.
if you knew how many prayers
Go ahead.
kept you for this moment,
Go ahead.
how special God see you. Even when you don't see yourself that way. You know how special you are to God. That God gets in your life to make sure that you don't miss critical stops and points where he knows he's waiting for you at. He Okay, yeah. Give me a different time.
This moment.
Woo! That's what I just heard the Spirit say.
Spirit say,
Let's put this up.
Guess what I just heard the Spirit say? And I said how special y'all were and everybody was special. Said you just don't know how special you are to God. Guess what the Spirit just said to me? Let me tell you why you're here. Each and every individual. Whoever you are, whatever you've been through in your life. Let me tell you why you're here right now, today, right here, right now. He said, because you're qualified.
Hallelujah.
Yeah! That hurt you went through, it qualified you. That loss you went through, it qualified you. You qualified for the crossover. That hurt, that suffering, That lost. It made you qualified for the crossover. Everybody can't go to the crossover because they're not qualified. Oh. Special. See, you thought that all the things that were happening because of something you did, because of something you said, because of a mistake or wrong choice you made. But what you did not know was that it was just qualifying you to get to the brink. It was just qualifying you. It had to come in your life. God was just trying to see, were you going to keep on believing me? Were you going to continue coming to worship me? Because I'm qualifying you for a special day. What's today's date? I've been qualifying you for September the 4th, 2022. What you don't know is on that day, it'll come to a point where I'm going to meet you somewhere. And I'm going to bring some witnesses with me. So this can be recorded in heaven that on that day, you crossed over. Qualified. Minister Kenneth read that. Y'all heard him about Elijah. What ended up happening was Elijah, the Bible said that Elijah was getting ready to leave here. And he told Elisha, stay here. I got to go. He was at Gilgal first. First, he was at Gilgal. You can give me a moment. No. He was at Gilgal first. And he told him, listen, stay here. Stay here. Because I need God's taking me somewhere. And Elisha said, no, I'm not going to do that. He said, where you go, I'm going. And the Bible said that after they left Gilgal, they went on down to Bethel. And Elijah told Elisha, look, stay here. I got to go. He said, no, as long as my soul lives, I'm not leaving you. So where you go, I'm going. And then after Bethel, he took them and he told them, we're going. And after they got to Bethel, there was this prophet school that was there. And all the prophets was there. And Elijah went in there to see the prophets that were in there. And they came to Elisha and they said, hey, you know God taking him today. The Bible said, they said, hey, you knowest thou that your Lord will be taken away from you today? And he said, yeah, I know. But shut up talking to me about it. Bible say, hold your peace. Talk about it no more. And then Elijah, and after they done that, Elijah told him, look, all right, now look, and I went to that school. Now you stay here. I got to go to Jericho. God told me to go to Jericho. And he said, no, I told you before. I'm not leaving your side. And he said, okay, all right, go ahead. They went to Jericho. And after they went to Jericho, there was another little prophet school. They were there at the prophet school. And the prophets that was in there came again. Hey, man, do you know God taking Elijah today? He told him, I know. Hold your peace. You'll find that in the second chapter if you read further. I mean, from the beginning, the minister didn't read. Elijah said that to him, tarry here, I pray. The Lord sent me to Jordan. He said, no, I done told you before. Where you go, I go. And then he was there at Jordan. Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters and hit the waters and the ground where the water was, spread it out. And the Bible said that when it done that, Elijah and Elisha, they walked on dry ground and they went over. And they went over. And when they had gone over, Elijah said to Elisha, ask me what I shall do for you before I'm taken away from here. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of your spirit be upon me. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if you see me when I'm taken from here, then it should be unto you so. But if not, hey, you won't get it. And it came to pass that as the still water, and that came to pass that as they still went on and talked, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and departed them both asunder and separated them. And Elijah went up in a whirlwind into heaven. Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and tore them in two pieces. He took up also the mantle that Elijah had dropped and fell, and he went back and stood back to Jordan. And he took the mantle and hid it. And the Bible said that he smote the waters and said, where is the Lord God of Elijah? And we also had smitten the waters. They parted hither and thither again. And Elisha went over. Double portion. Crossing over. We all crossed over. You crossed over because you just came today, so just thank God for that. Let's thank God for that. Thank God for that. But let me tell you about why things have been the way they've been for you since you're here. What qualified you? Because what happened? What happened was Elijah went to these three places. He said, listen, I have to go here because God gonna take me and I have to finish this off what God has told me to do, to talk to all these different people, these prophets, and let them know, And they went to this different place. They first started at Gilgal. They went there. And then he left there and said, I gotta go to Bethel. And he left Bethel. Then he said, I had to go to Judah. He left Judah. Then he had to go to Jordan. He left Jordan. Then he came right there to the Jordan River. And he kept trying to tell Elisha, stay here. Stay here. Because where I'm going and what I'm going to do, you may not be willing to do all the way. So instead of you coming halfway, just stay here. And let me go do what I need to do. And he said, no. Now. I'm going to paraphrase. I'm going to read all the chapter you told me to read, Pastor. I'm going to fast all the hours you say fast, Pastor. I'm going to come visit the church that you say come visit all the time you say it, Pastor. I'm not going to have, where you go, I'm going. And he ended up leaving the different places, and he would not stay. He just wouldn't stay. He kept coming. He kept coming. He kept coming. He kept coming because when you're hungry, for God, when you're hungry for who he is and not for what he can do, nothing will stop you from continuing on to fulfill that hunger. I do what I gotta do because I know I'm hungry to see what you say happen in my. I'm hungry for that. And he had to press his way, continue on with Elijah. And the Bible said that after they got there, he kept coming to all these other prophets that was in the school. They kept saying, and you know, it's time. I'm going to paraphrase what they're saying. You know God going to take it. Watch this. You know it's time now that you got to walk alone. Let me paraphrase what they're saying so you will get out of he taking your math. You do know that now it's time for you to think on your own. You do know that God is going to take away what you've been holding so close to. You do know that today is the day that the one you've been honoring, the one you've been solely walking with, the one that you placed your trust in, you know today that's over. You know today you're going to have to stand up on your own 2 feet. You know today you're going to have to make the decision and the choice for yourself today. You know that, right? And Elisha told him, yeah, I know, but don't talk about it. Don't talk to me about it. I know what today is. I know today's my crossover day. I know today's my double portion day. But what I don't need is for you to tell me about what I'm leaving behind today. Don't talk to me to try to remind me of what I'm leaving behind to cross over. I don't need to talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about it right now. The Bible said that he went to a second place and they done the same thing. It was prophet school there. He talked to them. They said, hey, man, you know what today is? You know he out of here, right? He told him, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. And then they get to the Jordan. And Elijah takes his mantle, the Bible said, and he wrapped his mantle like so. And what he did was he hit the water because they was at the brink of the Jordan River. He hit the water and the water separated. He took his mantle. Let me give you revelation. He took what God placed on his life, and he hit the opposition that was in front of him with what God placed on his life. He didn't hit it or talk with his lips. He took his mantle. The mantle represented who he was. The mantle represented the prophecy. The mantle represented that he was chosen by God. The mantle represented that he was a man of God. The mantle represented that him and God was on a first name basis. The mantle represented that he fasted when he needed to fast. The mantle represented that he prayed when it was time to pray. The mantle represented that everything he was in God, it was because God put it in him. That's what the mantle represented. And he took it and he hit the River Jordan, the banks of it. And because he used what God used to put on him, he hit what was trying to stand in front of him. And when you use what God put in you to take it and stop from what's trying to prevent you and standing in front of you, it's got to get out the way. It has to spread apart. It has to make a way for me to get by it, to get through it, to get on the other side of it. He hit the mantle. And it split open. And him and Elisha walked on dry ground from the river. Walked on dry ground. Can you imagine Elisha looking at this spectacle? Going, man, he just separated the whole sea. Just by using his mantle, just by using what God gave him, just by using who God called him to be, just by using what God said he can do with, he just split. And then the Bible said he went on dry ground. And once they got over, once they got over, not before, not in the midst, but once they got over, Elijah asked him a question. He said, now look, I know you know I'm out of here. I know you know it's time now for you to make your own decisions. It's time now for you to make the decision that you're going to live with. He said, now, what you want? What you ask me? Ask me, and I do it. I give it to you. What you want? What? Ask me, what you want? What you want? He said, okay, look, I just saw him. Take his mantle and hit the banks of Jordan, and the water recede. And not only did it recede, but it stayed there while we walked through it. It didn't come back until after we got across it. So that means that mantle must be powerful. You know, that position God gave you, you just don't know how much power is really in it. It's powerful. That name God called you, it's powerful. He said, hey, put it down. He said, this is what I want. Give me a double portion of your spirit. That's what he said. On a double portion of your spirit. And Elijah told him, now that's a hard thing. Because I didn't give me the spirit myself. Now you asking a hard thing because I didn't give me the spirit I have. But now you telling me you want double of what I got. That's a hard thing. He said, but if you see me, this is where I'm taking you to your crossover. If you see me when I'm taking up, then allow it to be there. Allow you to have what you choose. But if you don't see me, then you can't have it. Now, crossover. They had to cross over. They had to cross over. And he said that to him. And once he said that to him, the Bible said that after he said that to him, here come chariot, fire, horses. horses and chariots. And he told him, now, if you seek me, you can have what you want. You'll get a double portion. But if you don't seek me, then you won't have it. And I said, well, God, wait a minute for a second, because I had to think about that now. What do you mean if he see him? He see the boy ain't left his side yet. Now, what would make him say if you see me, as if like he now just gonna all of a sudden leave after you done told him if he see me? God gave me a revelation of seeing me. He said, if you see me, when I'm taken up, let it be to you. And if you don't see me, you can't have it. The Bible said, then came a chariot of fire and horses of fire. And look at what the chariot and the horses did. They separated Elijah and Elisha. The Bible said they came in between to put them asunder. That means they came and put them away from each other. They came and separated them. And once they got separated, look at the revelation of the chariot. We always say that he went up in a chariot and a horse of fire, but he didn't. He went up in a whirlwind. The chariot and the horse of fire was just there to separate them. He didn't even get in the chariot. The chariot and the horses' purpose was to separate Elijah from Elisha. What's the revelation, Pastor, about that? Because the horse and the chariot that were on fire were spirit. They were spirit. Rewind. Remember when Elijah was going up against all the people in his servant, said, look, hey, they finna kill us. He told God, open his eyes so that he can see. And the Bible said that his eyes were open. And he saw chariots and horses of fire that were all around Elijah. Do you remember that? You remember that? His eyes had to be open. Or okay, let me change the word from eyes open. His spirit had to be enlightened in order for him to see the chariots and the fire. Now fast forward. Elijah said, if you see me, if you see me, in other words, watch this, in other words, if you see, watch this, in other words, if your spirit with all the training, with all the church going, with all the Bible class, with all the press service, if your spirit, after crossing over, has made it to the point where I don't have to ask God to open your eyes. Your eyes is already open. If you see me without me having to open your eyes to see me, then you can get a double portion. You see, but Elisha had to be in position to be able to see the horse and the chariot, his spirit had to be in tune with God's word so much that he can see into the spirit. The Bible said the chariot and the horse came to separate. It came to take them apart. It came for Elisha to stand up on his own now. You can't believe God for what mama said about him no more. Not when you cross over. You grown when you cross over. I want you to get the power, but I want you to understand what crossing over details. So, listen, if you see me, when I'm taken up, let it be unto thee. Let it be unto thee. But if you don't, if not, it shall not be so. It shall not be so. And they came and pulled them apart. I'm going to tell you why right here. That's it right there. He said, if you see me, meaning, help you, meaning, if you see, watch this, the activity of God working, if you see the activity of God working, and you're able to see it in your life. See, that's why the chariot had to pull them apart. If you seeing the problem bigger than the problem solver, then you can't see. If all you see is all that you see, then you don't see all there is to be seen. He said, if you can see me before I leave, if you see the activity of God for yourself,
Go ahead.
if you can see me for yourself, and you see the activity of God, then what you asking for, the double portion you asking for, you will get. You will get. You will get. You will get it. You will get it. He said, I want a double portion. I need a double of what you have. I want a double of it. And then you have to remember this. Remember this. Remember this now that you've crossed over. Now that you've dealt with double. Listen, remember this. God will never, ever appoint you to a place he haven't anointed you. So now that you've crossed over, and you have a double portion. Remember, while you're here, God will not appoint you to no place he haven't anointed you for. He won't. He's not going to. He won't. He don't. God doesn't work that way. When God give assignments, God makes sure that you're anointed for the appointment. He don't do that. So while you over here, picking up your double portion, remember what Elisha done first. The Bible said when he went up, Elisha ripped off his clothes in two. And after he ripped off his clothes, after he ripped off the disbelief that it can't happen for me, after he ripped off, I don't have enough money to make it happen. After he ripped that off, I don't think I can do better than this. After he ripped that off, the Bible said he picked up Elijah's mantle. That same thing. Let me get the Bible. That same verse that I saw my mama quoting when she was in the hospital. He picked up that same verse that he saw his father quoting when he lost his apartment. He picked up that same verse. I'm going to use the mantle. I'm going to take the mantle out and put it so you can understand. He picked up Elijah's mantle and said, if it worked for my mama, let me see it work for me. If it works, watch this. Let me come down some of these people's block. Watch this. If it worked for Bill Gates, let me see it work for me. And he hit the river again. Because now that you've crossed over on this day, it's recorded in heaven, so it's on you. It's recorded in heaven that today was your crossover day. It's recorded in heaven. But now that you crossed over, there's a double portion that's ours for the taking. That's ours for the taking. Can you see Apostle Jackson saying, please, somebody take this out my hand? Can you see Mother Jackson standing here saying, please, somebody take this out my hands? Can you see Reverend Cleetscales standing here saying, please, somebody take this out my hands? God said. God said. God said. God said. I'm done. I'm done. God said. God said. God said. After he grabbed the mantle, and he went back and he hit the banks again so he could go back over to Jordan. Y'all, I don't read all this, but if you keep reading down, you'll find the Bible said that those same prophets, you know, the ones he told to shut up, I don't want to talk about this now. He said when he came back, they saw the double portion from Elijah on Elisha. But, watch this. What showed it was he had his mantle. Don't ask for a double portion of Mother Jackson if you ain't going to pick up her mantle. Don't ask for a double portion of the apostle if you can't pick up the mantle. And I got news for you. I tell you, know me, I do my research. I got news for you. Do you know that Elisha done double everything Elijah done? Everything he done twice as much. I said, but wait a minute. One thing got me. I said, because I know Elijah laid on the little boy's body and brought him back. Elisha ain't never brought nobody back to life. God said, don't, son, you're missing it. Missing it. He took me over there, Joy, to a part in the Bible where there was some people. And what happened was their friend died. And they dug in this grave. And it happened to be Elisha's grave. And the Bible said that Elisha's bones was there. And they threw the dead man in there. And the Bible say the moment he touched his bones, life came back in his body. And he climbed out the grave like, hey. I said, man, okay, well, I said, okay, God, well, that ain't nothing. That's 1-to-1. That ain't double. That ain't double. That ain't 1-to-1. That's double. Well, a double portion. He said, watch this. He said, because Elijah, when he brought the little young boy back to life from the widow, Elijah, you know, he had to pray on the boy 7 times to bring him back. I said, okay, that's still 1-to-1. He said, but Elijah was still alive. Watch this. Watch this. Meaning that Elijah was still able to perform the works that God had placed in him. Now, Elisha done so much in God, for God, his dead body, his bones, he done so much for God, Mike. His bones are still bringing life to dead things. If that ain't a double portion, I don't know what a double portion is. So since today is double portion day, let me decree something. Since I know I have 3 witnesses that are standing in all our presence, let me decree something. Can I decree something? Watch this. First, I decree, as the man that they threw into Elisha's grave that was dead, I decree, starting today, September the 4th, 2022, the year of our Lord, anything that God gave you, that died on you, I decree like the bones of Elisha that God breathed life back into it. If that's an idea, if that's a dream, if that's a want, a hope, whatever it is that may have died on you, life might have caused it to fall asleep on you. On today, every dream, every hope, every aspiration, everything that you put to the back of your mind that God keeps trying to put back to the front of your mind, I decree Elisha bones on it. Can these bones live again? I decree and declare that on this crossover, as Elijah and Elisha did when he came back, that wherever you walk, wherever God lead your feet, wherever God leads your path, that anything that's opposition, hold on, anything that's opposition, according to the mantle that you pick up, anything opposition to that God will make it split and give you a walkway to walk past it, beyond it, and not have any effect from it being in front of you. And this is the last one. Because I had 3 witnesses, I have to declare 3 things. This is the last one. That starting today, right now, that the double portion you see yourself with, whatever portion you see yourself with, that God will bring it to life. Whatever you picking up double, whatever you want double, that God will bring it to life and that God will give it to you. Whatever portion you asking God for, whatever it is, that God will bring that double portion into your life so that God can get the glory. That God can get the glory. Turn to your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor. Tell him. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor. Say, neighbor. Double look good on you.